with Lewis and Thick Rick. And, man, this mashup, dude. I mean, this is just like the perfect mashup for this discussion that we are about to have. They took Carol of the Bells and the Imperial March, Vader's theme. And it's so good.
Yeah.
Here we go. See Vader dressed in a Santa Claus outfit.
It's funny you should mention that. Wait till you see what I sport tomorrow for the final show / day of the year.
Look, we got local bands coming in here tomorrow morning, man. Don't be embarrassing me.
Yoga pants.
Oh, God.
It's Yoga Pant Friday.
It is?
Yeah.
Yoga pants?
And don't even think about wearing underwear underneath the yoga pants.
I mean, I could go for some Christmas pajamas, but yoga pants? Nobody wants to see me in yoga pants.
You want that flexibility.
Dude.
You just don't realize it.
Nobody wants to see that.
Side note, JC, Merry Christmas. He and I are bonding over Thundercats on the text wall.
Yeah, also, Merry Christmas to JD Marie. She texted us and said Merry Christmas to us for the last time because she's headed out of town.
I responded to her earlier.
So, all right.
And Captain Redbeard said he visited a prostitute one time during the war, and his life has been a living hell ever since. Like, that's what happens when you
Where
get
did
the
that
wars
come from? Good Lord. All right, so let's talk about this because you told me you were a huge fan of the Star Wars Holiday Special.
I didn't say I was a huge fan.
That's what I
just
heard.
Said,
you said love it.
I do like it. It's garbage.
It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever.
But you have to understand why that all happened.
But there's actually a documentary out about how and why it happened.
Yeah, at the time of the original Star Wars, Merry Christmas, Brian. At the time of in Whitehall, at the time that Star Wars came out, and I am a Star Wars fan. I will make no shame about it. I have a tattoo emblazoned on my arm.
You're bigger than me. I'm a pretty good fan, but
And
I met my match.
Like, I get irritated, but now I'm not so much as a fanboy that I blow apart everything they try to do. Like, there are people that, tore down Obi-Wan on Disney Plus, which I strongly disagree with. I think it's a great show. Thank you.
Absolutely.
People tore down The Mandalorian a couple of times.
Fantastic show.
The only one that I will give a pass on is Boba Fett could have been much better than it actually was. That all being said.
Wasn't that just a bridge, though, between the two Mandalorian seasons?
Yes, I think so. And I am not a fan of the Disney sequel trilogy because they clearly had no plan and they just threw it out there, and it was a misstep from...
What do you mean, like Rise of Skywalker?
All of them, all three of them.
I loved them.
No.
Really?
Force Awakens started out something good, but they made a cardinal mistake when they didn't have the big three on screen together, and then Carrie Fisher died. Then there's the steaming pile of garbage that is Last Jedi, followed up by an even bigger steaming pile of garbage.
Wow.
That is the Rise of Skywalker, because they had to fix everything that went wrong. You totally, and now the Disney Plus, if you watch the Disney Plus shows for what they are, they're making those three movies better because they're giving you, again, when you heard there was a new Star Wars, everybody went, dude, I want to see Luke Skywalker, who at that point in time should be the baddest man in the galaxy, wrecking shop, and you didn't get it. You got a guy who drank green milk out of cow udders.
Well, he went off to,
but the most
middle of nowhere.
So you're telling me the most optimistic guy in the universe who was willing to forgive his father who slaughtered innocent children, he was going to kill his nephew because he got a bad vibe.
All right, well, let's go back to the original trilogy, not the first three. I'm talking about Star Wars and Empire and Jedi.
Right.
Who was the guy you're talking about that should have been this Luke Skywalker guy? Who would that have been back then? It would have been Yoda. And what was Yoda doing during that series? He was off on some faraway planet just training
Luke
Jedi.
would have never been Yoda.
But Yoda was the badass Jedi.
No, Yoda was
Yoda
was, but he wasn't. No,
you see what I'm saying.
Luke was the king of optimism. And now there's so many people right now tuning out because we're talking about Star Wars. But what I'm getting at to the holiday special, when that movie came out, no one realized what a cultural phenomenon it was going to be. So Lucas signed off on doing a bunch of stuff that he shouldn't have done. He also didn't have a complete story, hence why Luke decided to make out with his sister at Empire Strikes Back, which is still a cringe moment for everybody. That whole Luke, I am your father. That was a Hail Mary in the end of the fourth quarter decision. So
Empire's still the best.
It is, but there was originally supposed to be a love triangle between Han, Luke, and Leia, and then clearly
you can't do that when there's a brother and
exactly.
sister
So
involved.
they changed that, but they made all these things with the holiday special. Star Wars was also on the Muppets as well, and yes, Mindy, Rogue One is badass. They also put them on the Muppets. They did a lot of licensing deals, not realizing how big it was going to become, and they put storylines in place that make no sense of anything. And then when they went on to Empire Strikes Back, by then they had changed a lot because, it got popular. So I don't think the holiday special is fantastic, and I wasn't old enough to see it when it came out.
It's horrendous.
But, the
effects are so lame. The stupid little Wookiees. And,
there was
brutal.
A meme because a lot of people, again, complained about how you de-aged Mark Hamill at the end of The Mandalorian and it didn't look right. Look at how Mark Hamill really looked in the holiday special, and that CGI in Mandalorian all of a sudden looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, I thought I had no problem with that at all. Anyway, so like I said, there was a documentary about how and why this Star Wars holiday special happened. Here's a little clip from that.
1978, Lucasfilm made a huge mistake they prefer we all forget. The Star Wars holiday special.
The Star Wars holiday special is sort of like the Holy Grail.
So funny and so stupid at the same time.
We have seen something that we weren't supposed to see. How did this happen?
When 70s TV was bad, Gilbert, there was no description for it.
How in the world is George Lucas allowing this to happen?
Because he was trying to make some money at the time.
This was a cash grab, man. Oh, my gosh. All right, so back when Conan O'Brien was doing his talk show, he had Harrison Ford on.
Right.
And this was the first time I saw anybody ask him about the holiday special.
A Christmas special came out that was produced by George Lucas, in which all of the participants in Star Wars came together and they made this Star Wars Christmas special, and the tape's been passed around for years, and the rumor is that Lucas is trying to suppress it because none of you look happy while you're making this thing.
You haven't seen Harrison right now.
And I thought I'd just ask you about it. Do you remember making this Christmas special? I think it was 1978. No, you don't remember it? You have no memory of this incident. No memory of it at all.
No,
so it doesn't exist in your...
No, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
No.
Here's a real nerd bomb for you. Do you know what else came out of the Star Wars holiday special?
Oh, no.
That was the first appearance of Boba Fett in animated form.
Oh, really?
Part of the Star Wars holiday special, there's an animated segment with Luke and Han and X-Wings and everything else, and one of those animated segments has Boba Fett. He doesn't look quite like Boba Fett ended up looking, but the prototype and debut of Boba Fett happened then.
The first time I saw this, I got through like 15 minutes of it. I was like, this is not right. No.
Courthouse Sean is a proud Star Wars fan. Thank you, brother.
Well, that's great, but I bet he doesn't like the holiday special.
There's a lot of, I think you love it for you love it. But think about it, though. Here's the other thing that makes it even age worse. A lot of the stuff that you watched back in the day when you were younger, and this is true for even stuff in the 90s, you watch it now and you go,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Man, 6-year-old me really loved that.
Yeah.
36-year-old me, not so much.
Right. No, I get that.
You know what I mean?
I definitely get that. I used to love Beastmaster with Mark Singer. Terrible movie.
Oh, dude, that's still a cult classic.
Terrible movie.
I watched.
know.
There's a good documentary on Beastmaster that you can watch about how it all came to be.
And how wrong it was. Anyway, so, you don't see Harrison Ford when he's first asking him about it, when Conan O'Brien's asking him about it. He's just shaking his head no. That's why he goes, oh, no, you don't. And he didn't want to talk about it. He thought it was terrible. And he said it didn't happen. It never happened. So Conan shows him a clip.
Well, I'd love to, but I can't. I got to get back to the Falcon before somebody stumbles across her. Wheel look at Lumpy. He's sure grown, huh?
It is indeed true that at times like this, Artu and I wish that we were more than just mechanical beings. And were really alive, so that we could share your feelings with you.
All of you are an important part of my life, pal. I'm glad I could be here.
This holiday is yours. But we all share with you the hope that this day brings us closer to freedom and to harmony and to peace. No matter how different we appear, we're all the same in our struggle against the powers of evil and darkness.
Oh, she's gonna sing.
This is the promise of the Tree of Life.
Yeah, it was Life Day.
We celebrate.
Okay, that's cringe. I'll give you that. I'll give you the cringiness of this moment. But in her defense, Carrie Fisher was coked out on life at the time, so she probably didn't even realize she sang. It's Mindy says the holiday special is the cousin no one talks about. That's true. Right. You know what? But here's the thing with Harrison Ford. He wanted to kill. He thought it would have been more of an impact if Han Solo would have died at the end of Return of the Jedi. So when he came back, I guarantee in that contract to get him to do Force Awakens, hey, you can kill off Han Solo because he wanted to do it for years.
Right.
But the mistake they made.
Now you just spoiled that.
Sorry.
It only came out 10 years ago.
Right, 10-year spoiler. But the mistake that Disney made at no point in time, even if it would have been a flashback, it would have been fine. At no point in time do you ever have Han Solo, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill on screen together at the same time during the new Disney trilogy. And that's a huge mistake that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. And now she's dead and you can't do it.
Oh, my gosh. That never even...
Well, it
went through my mind.
It should have. If you were a real fan, it would have. Because everybody went out and then went, wow, the big three were never on the screen at the same time. And then Rian Johnson made her Mary Poppins through space.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that was a little... Yeah,
no, that was more than
cheesy.
a little.
That was cheesy.
Oh, and you also killed off Admiral Akbar. You know, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Without even knowing, no one saw that. Yeah, so bad.
It's a trap.